Most claims from 400 men on vessel moored in Portland, Dorset have been processed, with majority accepted. The final asylum seekers housed in the Bibby Stockholm baggage left the boat on Tuesday, and crew members are set to leave on Wednesday, with the controversial vessel's final day in port expected to be 8 January. The accommodation on the beach, moored in Portland, Dorset, will now be dismantled after the Labour government decided to discontinue the previous government's contract to house asylum seekers on the vessel. The last departures bring to an end a 15-month saga over the use of baggage to house asylum seekers, featuring protests, arrests, and condemnation from campaign groups. Last year, Leonardo Farouk, a musician who was seeking asylum after traveling from Albania, is thought to have killed himself on the baggage. Many of those housed in the Bibby Stockholm has been in the UK for a number of years and had been moved already to 2 or more different locations. The news was welcomed by Lord Hatton, the local Labour MP for South Dorset, who called the use of baggage an expensive and unworkable gimmick. A Home Office team has been processing claims from the 400 men housed on the boat. A significant majority are understood to have been granted asylum, and most are expected to leave the area for accommodation elsewhere. About 8 were left on the vessel when the final residents departed on Tuesday. The local council has said that none of the men moved from the vessel will be based in other locations in Dorset, with a report saying they are likely to be moved to other areas, including Cardiff and Wolverhampton. So this is very good that Sweden has decided to shut down this vessel, this baggage where they were keeping asylum seekers on Dorset. Because one of the things people have been campaigning is that it is not even safe to house these people on the vessel, and it is costing Sweden a whole lot of money, of which most of the politicians were just looking at the spending. They were not looking at it at the side of humanity, they were looking at the cost. So, but finally, there were a lot of protests against this, there were a lot of arrests, there were a whole lot of things that people cried out. There was a whole lot of outcry. People debated it in many fronts, but finally the decision has been made by Sweden. That is very good. The baggage will be handed back to its owners, BB Marine, on 8 January when it will sail from the port as its contract formally expires. The Home Office said in an announcement in July that ending the use of Bibby Stockholm formed part of an expected 7.7 billion of savings in asylum costs over the next 10 years. So you see, by them shutting it down, they are going to be saving 7.7 billion euros in the next 10 years. Extending its use would have cost more than 20 million next year, according to the department. So if they were to extend it next year, it would have cost them another 20 million euros. Hatton said, "I welcome the news that the Home Office has processed all of the asylum cases on the Bibby Stockholm baggage. They promised to empty the baggage by the end of November, and they have made good on that promise. So it's only time will tell how these asylum seekers cases were processed. Were they allowed to stay? The ones that were not allowed to stay, are they being given time to leave, or are they going to be deported?"